Welcome back to another Flipping Tables. My name is Sean,
And I'm Tika.
and today we've got another prototype for you for a game called Koi Garden. This is a 2 to 4 player game and plays in about 15 to 20 minutes. A very zen game. And that's really the point of this game. It's a very relaxing, you're trying to score zen points based on a garden. You're building a zen garden, and you're trying to balance it for the creatures that could live in the garden.
Pond.
A pond.
Yeah,
It's a pond. A pond and a garden, because
Koi
there's land and there's water and there's different creatures. So this is coming to Kickstarter on April 9th, I believe it is. So you can also check out our interview with the creator. We'll put a link right up there once it's available, right above Tico's head.
Right up there.
So let's have a look at Koi Garden. This is what the game looks like. This is just the setup. So we each have a starting tile. This is our starting land tile. These are the land cards, and these are the creature cards. We also each start with a randomly given creature card.
Starting cards, yeah.
So I've started with this silver fish.
Koi. Silver koi.
This silver koi.
And I got the rainbow koi.
Rainbow koi. There you go. We also have score. You're trying to score the most points. So this is a really neat score tracker that you just score it very easily. Yep. We must say that this is a prototype. So the actual final copy could look different. It could play a little different. But you're going to get the idea of what the game is all about. You're basically, in turn, you are going to choose a land tile from the starting lineup here.
Yeah, from the market.
From the market. And this is my creature for this turn, okay? And each creature has a different way of moving. This guy here can move one way infinitely through the same scoring tile. Wow. All right? Yeah. So it's going to score points based on that kind of a tile. So I want to try to find this tile in order to move him. So my first turn, for example, I'm going to take this tile right here.
Good call. And
I'm going to place it. And tiles must overlap at least one other tile in your pond. So I'm going to place it right here. Okay. And now I take that creature.
You grab your little fish
from my little pile of creatures here. Each creature has a corresponding token. And I'm going to place him on a starting tile. The green here is your wild starting tile. One of these must always be showing throughout the game. You cannot cover up the entire starting tile. So I'm going to place him there. And now, again, it can move one way infinitely through the same scoring tile. So it can move straight forward. I'm going to move it twice. 1, 2. That means I score 2 points. So I record that on my score tracker. Yeah. And what I must do now is replace this card, and I must take the snail, which was above the tile I took. So that is now my creature for the next turn.
For the next turn. So you're going to be scoring the different creatures throughout. So there's some strategy involved.
For sure.
You know, like maybe I like this tile, but I don't want that frog next turn.
Right.
So, maybe I don't take that one. I'm not going to take that one anyways because I have the
rainbow koi. So
he goes through the blue water spaces. So I'm going to grab this one here and drop that there, and then I find my little guy here. And then this again.
What does he do?
The exact same rules on him. He is straight through, but with a different tile. So with the blue water tile, he goes straight through, infinitely scoring the 2 points to go there. And we've got a lovely little tie game going. And then I swap him out for the water strider.
And we replace the land tile.
Yeah.
So now I have to consider what I'm doing with the snail. And each of these creatures have different scoring abilities, the way they score, and so you want to really take that into consideration as you're building out your pond. And really that's how it goes, turn after turn. There is a special move if you want to use the ancient coin. So you decide, you know what, I don't like any of these tiles. The ancient coin allows you to use it that turn, take all of these tiles away, and then put 4 more out. So now you can essentially replace all the tiles and hope you get something better for what you want to do with your next one. But you must take a penalty. What you do now is you take one of these stone totem type tokens.
Stone lantern.
The stone lantern token. And you place it somewhere in your pond. So I have to place it there, for example. That means that I can no longer go through that, and I cannot place another land tile over that tile. So it's giving me a penalty to replacing all those. But that's also my turn now.
That's your turn. It's an impediment in stopping you from building out your pond in that direction.
Exactly. That's right. And the game ends once you've each placed 7 tiles, or you have a total of 7 tiles,
including the start.
Right, including your start. So once everybody has placed 6 additional tiles in their pond, and every turn you're going to score points based on the creature you have, and based on how they move. And by the end of it, I think one time I scored 22, and you were like 18 or
18,
so.
19.
It was fairly
Pretty
even.
close.
It was really close. I personally enjoyed the game. It is I just call it a Zen game. There's no take that mechanic. There's no way for me to affect what Tico's doing
without taking the card that I'm building towards, that sort of thing. So
True.
Maybe you'll grab one, but then again, you're hurting yourself with so few turns.
Yeah.
Like, oh well, I know you're going for water, grabbing this would be a great idea if
you could benefit from
I can benefit. But if I'm not benefiting, you've got a limited number of turns, so that doesn't necessarily help me score as much.
That's why I find this is a very it's just a relaxing game. Yes, you're trying to score the most points than your opponents, but I find it was more about my pond. I wasn't concerned with what Tico was building. I'm thinking my next move for my pond, and how can I get the most points in one turn to really bring those points up. So I found it. I just describe it as a Zen game. It is, and that's really the whole point. They call it Zen points. It really is about building a Zen garden, a Zen pond with all these different creatures, and how they interact with each other. And I enjoyed it. It is a short game. It's very easy to understand. There are some things, because it's a prototype, some things just aren't quite as clear. We found, for example, the frog was a little bit confusing as to how it actually moves.
How it scores points and how it moves.
Yeah, but these are things that I'm sure are going to be cleared up by the time it actually releases. By the time it hits Kickstarter, these things are going to be hammered out and fixed. Again, this is just the prototype. But I like what I see. And if you are looking for a simple, easy game to play with the family that's not super competitive, Koi Garden. This is the game you want to have a look at. It's a peaceful game. Yeah, it's fun. You're not fighting your opponents.
I would love to see a solo mode, be honest, with a variation in there, because it is so calming. I didn't feel I was playing against you the entire time. I was working on my own thing. I would love to see a solo mode added in there at some point.
A solo mode would be fun. Just how much score could I get?
Yeah.
Is that even good English? I don't even know.
But
that is Koi Garden. That is hitting Kickstarter on April 9th. And you should check it out because we enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Are you got a koi fish? You like that?
I do.
Koi. Look at this koi fish right there.
It matches actually. It was funny because it matched my starting character.
It does. Look. Okay, here we go.
Look at it. Matches the starting character.
It's perfect. This game is right up Tico's alley.